I'm pretty sure recreators once again took a shot at the anime community, and maybe just primarily visual novel creators, or more specifically dating sim visual novel creators, and I fucking love it. This creator, because if you read the comments last week, a lot of people were like, you know, who is this girl, who's this new pink hair girl, and a lot of us, myself included, were like, it's probably a dating sim girl or something like that, because she just had that persona, which she absolutely is. And I think it's a shot that was needed to be taken here, and only in recreators could we have something like this. We always see in the community all this like kind of like meme bait, but there is some truth to some of it where they're just like, I prefer the 2D women over the 3D because they respect me for who I am, I can be whatever. And it's just this creepy mentality that goes on. And this is exactly what I feel like a lot of these like kind of dating sim creators are, is that is their preference. It's like they just love their like 2D waifus that they create. And we see the creepiest motherfucker with the most ugly character design that we've seen in this show, and I've seen in anime in a while, come in, act as antisocial, as just so awkward and just bizarre and creepy as you could expect an anime fan to be. And he's trying to get all up on his creation, saying, I'm gonna marry you, I'm gonna marry this girl. Most creepy thing ever, and I was shocked. I was like, are you kidding me right now? Recreators actually went the route of not only bringing a dating sim girl, who obviously there's some sex scenes in that dating sim, so we got that triple X character finally in the show, but they also went the route of really showcasing the creepy side of the anime community with her creator just being a complete and utter piece of trash. I love it! It was so unexpected, not to mention that she has absolutely no abilities, so I mean, she will, obviously, with the fandis that's going to be released, that's how they're going to implement it to the visual novel fans there. But still, I had no expectations that something like this would happen. It was absolutely absurd. The government worker once again puts the smack on these creepy anime fans. It's so good. Like, who could have expected this? We all probably thought a triple X character or a dating sim, something like that could happen, but to really showcase what a lot of people look at anime fans as. Did not see that coming. Only in recreators could we have something like this, and I absolutely love it. But even without kind of like the craziness, the silliness, we did actually get some pretty good plot progression as well. We now have this like sort of portal that has been implemented, so we can kind of like test theories, kind of like see how things are going to happen, so they can make changes with a more precise accuracy, things like that, which is awesome. But the new stuff that was actually really cool to me was all the stuff with Blitz and learning about Blitz's backstory, where it seems like Blitz had to kill his own daughter. She was like kind of like she became like a machine or something. She's hooked up to all these tubes. I believe that was his daughter, if not someone he knew, but I think that's how it was his daughter. So you definitely get a different sense of Blitz this time around, seeing his backstory, but also the hug at the very end with Altair there. There's some stuff that happened in this episode that was completely unexpected, but I just can't help but just be more shocked and awed by the dating sim girl. I mean, seriously, they brought in the most useless character, and it became one of the most fascinating characters to look at this episode. Absolutely insane, but we also got the return of Magane as well. She just apparently only wants to drink milk. She has the whole, like, mini fridge full of milk, and it seems like we're gonna have some Alice stuff going on with her, so who knows if she's gonna get double-crossed. But I thought it was interesting, this episode, because it just felt like the weirdest episode, but one of the most fun episodes all at the same time, because we did get this new character who's so useless. She's crying because people pretty much know her personal life, who she loves, who she's banged, because it's a dating sim. It's such a different type of character interaction, where all these other characters aren't really upset that they know their history. Either A, they're mad because they've been forced into a war, or B, you know, they're just fascinated by their gods. But in the case of a dating sim girl, she's absolutely horrified, even more horrified to see what created her. Absolutely crazy. And I also just love the Magane stuff. Like, I'm surprised they were able to manage to take her out of a bath where she had a money bath. She's laughing at, like, wars that in the Middle East, things like that. And I like how she only had a towel covering her breasts, but it didn't really come off as fan service. I think it helped because they didn't, like, super detail her body. But I was just surprised because as soon as I saw her coming out of the bath, I was like, oh, recreators is going so fan service. And then I was like, huh. Like, I mean, she's naked, but, like, they didn't make it come off as just cheap fan service. I mean, it just somehow worked with her character, her kind of persona, especially the fact that they mentioned that she had a money bath. She's laughing at wars and things like that. It just somehow worked with her character, and I was actually kind of impressed because I was just ready to cringe and be like, seriously, recreators, you were doing so well, you didn't need to go to the tropes. And I was like, okay, I guess you're still alright in my books. But I thought Recreators episode 15 was such an enjoyable episode. Not only did we get that plot progression, seeing different sides, seeing some new characters come into the fray, learning the backstory, seeing some returning favorites like Magane, but the new character, just seeing what they're doing, they're taking those shots at the anime community, and this government worker, I feel like is like what we feel like, because I know like you see a lot of the weirdness in the comment sections, but I mean, that's a minority. It's not the majority of the anime community. I feel like this government worker just represents the majority of just like, we want to smack some of these anime fans upside the head. I just love this government worker and just everything that this episode brought. I mean, it didn't really do anything that crazy with the animation. I mean, there was a couple of aspects like with the robot guy. I really like seeing his like kind of like counterpart, basically the guy who's going up against him summoning his like kind of like soldier or whatever it was, the knight there. I thought that had some pretty cool animation, but at the core it was a pretty basic in terms of animation. But nothing really about it looked that bad to me, and I absolutely loved everything about this episode. I thought it was absolutely hilarious, it was insane, it was fun to watch, and I'm dying to see what they do, especially what kind of powers this dating sim girl is going to get with the fan disc. I just think this is such a hilarious episode. It was so fun, and the end of the episode was very unexpected, especially how we see some of the villains in this series in a very different light. But I'd be interested to hear what everyone think of this episode. What was your favorite moment? I think the dating sim girl is going to be like most people's favorite moment, but let me know your favorite moment down in the comment section below. And before you leave, smack that like button to show your support. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.